Hey everybody, welcome to Brick System Brothers. I'm your host Nathan Masters, and today's topic is an interesting LEGO collectible known as LEGO OLO. And it is this brick here with the K in a hollow stud logo, a standard LEGO brick for comparison. These are both from the same purchase I recently made off of eBay. They came from California, and everything in that purchase was 60s and 70s era LEGO. And that's all I can tell you for sure about the origin of this particular OLO sample. If you start doing some reading around the various groups and the vintage collectors that do talk about these things, it appears to be a Japanese either import or kind of a subdivision of the LEGO group in Japan, with a specific product for the Japanese market. For some reason, this was not the standard design, not something that LEGO wanted to sell in Japan at that time, which would have been 60s and 70s, which was the era that my purchase came from. So everything kind of checks out as far as this being part of the LEGO lot, coming from California, maybe kind of a jumping off point to Japan. I do believe at one point that these bricks were in Japan, either manufactured there or were imported. And that's where we get into a lot of the questions that are still out there about LEGO OLO. So Gary Istok is one of the best people for consulting this kind of information, and I'm getting a lot of what I'll be talking about in this video from a post on the Brickset forum. When this product does come up in conversation, it's kind of few and far between. Like I said, it is a very niche item, but I did want to put a video out on our channel here because I finally have a sample to kind of look at and compare and tell you what I know about it, and also offer some definitive looks at what the brick is and what it is not. So what is the brick? Dimension for dimension, it is a pretty much exact copy of your standard 2x4, and LEGO OLO also came in a few other sizes. And this is the extent of my OLO collection at this point. Just a note, it is spelled OLO, and the consensus at this point is the OLO is kind of an acronym, a form of an acronym that makes up the name of the company that was responsible for distributing this in Japan. So it is spelled OLO, OLO, but I think it is pronounced OLO with the R. Another thing I don't know for sure, just stuff that I've been picking up. So I have 3 colors from the sample, and like we just looked at with the red, the color match is very consistent. So probably the same plastic was being used as they did for the bricks. This is actually very similar style design to LEGO Minitalia, but Minitalia did use a different plastic. It used a cheaper plastic, and LEGO OLO is believed to be the same type of material as a standard brick, which is ABS. By this time they had switched over to that formula. It is a more quality plastic, it's more durable, it's more color fast, which is something that they would be looking for the Japanese product in that quality market. So my 3 colors, the red, blue, and white, 4 actually, because I have the light gray base plate. So 6x16, it's more of a base brick because it is the height of a brick, but the underside is mostly hollow with a few crossing bars. Again, the only reason this is distinguished from your standard LEGO logo style is because of the hollow stud with the K insert. So as far as we know, this is official LEGO, produced by the company and just distributed in a different market. So if you ever see this hollow stud with the K logo, it's probably not a knockoff. We're very certain, very confident about this being a LEGO product. But this is starting to get to about 60 years ago, so a lot of questions still up in the air about it. Okay, there's one other feature I haven't talked about too much yet, and that is underneath. There is a different type of connection point, and this uses the cross or the X pattern instead of the tube, which LEGO's quite famous for. The tube kind of LEGO's claim to fame in terms of what they brought to the interlocking brick mechanism. Initially, in the 40s and 50s, all the toy companies were copying each other, and the bricks were mostly about the same on top with, the knobs and the studs and the walls. Some of them had the slots, but underneath was where LEGO had the innovation to add the tubes for really creating a more dynamic toy. So kind of surprising that they went back to one of their other options for connection points. There's a test mold out there in the museum. In a museum, I think it's in the LEGO house, somewhere out that way, of some of the different connection types that were tested in the early days before they did settle on the tube design. And this is one of the many types that were initially tested. So it was selected to be used for this product. And aside from quite a different look, it has one additional merit that I came across while I was looking about these on Flickr. That is the ability to place a brick in the center between the studs of another, thanks to the positioning of these X's, of the crosses. So this can be done with any brick and its counterpart one size up, like so. So you can build these little towers. This is not possible to do with the stud and tube connections because it would intersect the tube. Now at the end of the day, the tube connection is probably more robust and a better design, but this does have that interesting aspect. Definitely worth mentioning. It doesn't work the other way though, just because of the way that on the top it is still using the hollow stud connection point. So definitely wanted to mention that in this overview of LEGO ORO. And final little note about the underside is the reverse penned pat for the pending patent instead of the standard patent pending. So yeah, just another little obscurity. LEGO ORO was sold in a couple different sets, and this is where I'm going to redirect you guys to this brick set forum discussion because it is provided in more detail there. But it seems that there were only a couple of basic kind of brick packs, which was the standard set style at the time, that were available that you could purchase these bricks with. And for the most part, it was kind of marketed the same way that your standard LEGO bricks were in other countries. Again, that only difference being our stud types in here. From a similar era, just for the sake of comparison, LEGO did have some other pieces with hollow studs, but they managed to fit their 4-letter logo inside the stud in this case. So it isn't simply a matter of, oh, we need something shorter to fit inside our stud because we can't write LEGO. They did in this piece and in this motor. I think these are slightly later, maybe into the 80s, but still an example of the hollow stud system containing your standard LEGO logo. Alright, 10-minute video about LEGO ORO. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something. It's a very niche item, kind of collectible, especially for the people that look at, the 2x4, kind of your standard collecting item, with the marbled bricks, test bricks, the different variants of these that are out there. This would be welcome to that collection as well. As you can see, I have a few extra, so if you are interested in making a trade, you can find our email at our channel about page drop an email to me and we can get in contact there. But I do have a limited number of these, and I'd like to hang on to most of them, so they will not be going for just anything. Keep that in mind. Thanks for watching my little info video about LEGO ORO, guys. I'm sure I'll be learning more about this product over the next couple of years, and if I do find something that is worth a video update, I will put out another one of these. But for now, I did want to get this out. I've had these for a relatively short time, and I find them very fascinating. I definitely haven't learned all of their secrets yet, but I will keep you posted. Thanks for watching, Brick System Brothers, and we'll see you guys next time.